As per the syllabus in the first unit, the next topic is major and minor tribal groups and their lifestyles. If you want to say this in one sentence, this is nothing but tribal groups and their ethnology. You have already familiar with this word ethnology. ETHNOLOGY, ethnology. Ethnology is nothing but the study of origin, affinities, lifestyles, their customs, traditions, beliefs at all stages of their life. Ethnology covers all these aspects. What aspects? Who are they? How they have originated? What are their affinities with one group to another group? As you know, there are so many groups of ethnic people all over the world. If you take in our country or our state or even in our district, so they has affinities from one tribe to another tribe, and also their civilization, culture, culture. It includes again their food habits, their way of dressing and way of they're conducting other occasions, happy moments or sorrow moments, and all the aspects which covers in ethnology. So this is what our syllabus is scheduled. What you want to know today? We want to know today tribal groups and their ethnology. So the tribals are a distinct ethnic groups. Tribals are ethnic groups. You know, ethnic. What is ethnic? Ethnic is nothing but classification of peoples, classification of peoples depending on their cultural groups. So that the tribals are the ethnic groups that are usually confined to a definite geographical area and speak a common dialect, are culturally homogeneous and unifying social organization. Are you able to follow me? If you take one tribal group or one ethnic group, there are so many ethnic groups all over the world, country, state, and in our district. Each tribe is confined to each tribe is confined to a different geographical area. If you see the Savara tribe is in Srikakulam district, they don't habitat at any other where. If you see Kondareddy, Kondareddy are very prominent in Visakhapatnam district, where they are not, we don't find them in our district or any other district. So the each ethnic group is confined to a specific geographical area and they have common dialect, they use common dialect, they shows the common cultural aspects, means each group shows homozygous or homogeneity in their lifestyles. Another group is different from this group in all aspects. That means in dialect. What is meant by dialect? I have introduced this word yesterday class. Yesterday means before yesterday class. Dialect. Each tribe has, huh? Emma? డైలెక్ట్ అంటే లాంగ్వేజ్. సో, ఒక్కొక్కరికి ఒక రకమైనటువంటి డైలెక్ట్ ఉంటుంది. కొండదొరల డైలెక్ట్ వేరు, సావర్ల డైలెక్ట్ వేరు, చెంచుల డైలెక్ట్ వేరు, లంబాడీల డైలెక్ట్ వేరు, సో ఆన్. సో, dialects are different, their cultural aspects are different, but they're showing unifying social organization. Unifying socialization means each group shows the homozygous lifestyles. The tribal people of India where they live in, mostly live in forest areas. Plateaus means పీఠభూములు అంటాం. Some plateaus. These are normally isolated from the they are normally isolated from civilized regions. Civilized regions. They habitat at forest areas or hilly areas and also isolated areas, plateau areas. So they are called as, due to their habitation, they are called as Adivasi. ఆదివాసులు అంటారు. ఆల్సో గిరిజన్. గిరి మీన్స్ పర్వతము లేదా మౌంటైన్. జన మీన్స్ జన్మించినవారు, గిరిపుత్రులు, గిరిజనులు అని కూడా అంటారు. సో ఇన్ అవర్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ term, they are scheduled as tribes. That is scheduled tribes. Scheduled tribes. It is their constitutional word, but commonly they called as Vanavasi. Some areas they are also known as Vanavasi, Adivasi, Aboriginal, Girijan, so on. Anyhow, our constitution has scheduled them into scheduled tribes, STs. ST means scheduled tribes. In India, this ST population is 8 crores 43 lakhs 36,240. This is the tribal population in India according to 2011 census. I am saying this according to 2011 census. 2021 census was not done so far. How many for how many years once how many years of once this census work will be conducted? You know, the census work. What is meant by census work? Census, CENSUS, census. సెన్సెస్ అంటే తెలీదా ఎవరికి కూడా? ఎవరు రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వట్లేదు. వాట్ ఈజ్ మెంట్ బై సెన్సెస్ అండ్ ఫర్ హౌ మెనీ ఇయర్స్ ఆఫ్ వన్స్ సెన్సెస్ వర్క్ విల్ బి కండక్టెడ్? దట్ ఈజ్ మై క్వశ్చన్. సో యు ఆర్ వెరీ పూర్ ఇన్ జనరల్ స్టడీస్. మరి ఎంతసేపు ఏరా పలకరు, నిద్రపోతున్నారేరా? నేను ఒక తిట్టినంత వరకు మీరు వెరీ పూర్ అని నేను 2 తిట్లు తిట్టేసరికి అప్పుడు గుర్తొస్తుందా? సెన్సెస్ ఎన్ని సంవత్సరాలకు ఒకసారి కండక్ట్ చేస్తారు? 10 ఇయర్స్. వన్స్ ఇన్ 10 ఇయర్స్. సో 2021 census was not conducted so far. So these are the data as per 2011 census. According to 2011 census, the total tribal population of India is 8 crores 43 lakhs 26,240. This is about 8.2% of total population. 8.2% of total population. If you come to in India, this is the population covering 550 tribal communities and 227 ethnic groups. So this is the census data. So about 8.5 crores of 8.5 crores of this total population, tribal population, covering 550 tribal communities and 227 ethnic groups. This is as per the classification made by anthropologists. So the ethnic groups and tribal communities are classified as per their cultural, their religious, their lifestyles, their dialect. These are all taken into consideration and classified. So this classification by made by anthropologists, anthropologists and their linguistics. So they habitated about 5,000 forested villages, that about 15% of country's geographical area. The total habitations or villages are nearly 5,000. 5,000 tribal villages are there in India, which occupies 15% of total geographical area. So this is the outlook of this tribal people. So next you come to what are the major and minor tribal groups of India. So there are so many tribal groups of India are there. Some what are the main names of tribal people and how can we classify them into major and minor depending on their population. Depending on their population. So according to their population, you can see census. Census. These census are about small gudas. Goda or gudem అంటారనమాట. So these census are living at a small habitation which comprises 23, 22, 30 huts. Huts అంటే తెలుసు కదా గుడిసెలు అంట. So the 20 to 30 huts are there in each habitation, and also they call it as penta లేదా gami. Penta. Penta is referred to the habitation of tribal people. You know, in Vijayanagaram district, Pachi Penta. So this is the where the tribal people is high. So commonly the habitations called as some penta, some guda, so on. So in Andhra Pradesh, at Gunturu district, you can see in Gunturu district, census are high. Mostly census are inhabited in Guntur district, also in Prakasam district. Especially these census are inhabited at Nallamalai forest area. Nallamalai forest area. Their main occupation is hunting. They live by hunting. In Nallamalai forest area, you can see these census. So Kondareddis, they are habited in Visakhapatnam district. You can see Lambadas. Lambadas are inhabited at all over the India. Lambadas and Gonds. So Gonds are originated from Gondwana at Bihar mountain ranges. Gonds and Lambadas are common all over the India. Even they are inhabited in our Andhra Pradesh. Also Yerukula, Savara, Jatapu, Gadaba or Gadaba, Koya, Naik ports, Naik ports, Pradhans, Pradhans, Kolami, Kolami, and Thotis. Thotis. Thotis are especially the Thotis are very primitive tribal group. PTGs. You know PTGs. PTGs means primitive tribal groups. So the PTGs, Savara is also belongs to PTGs, which are inhabited in our district. So 30 PTGs especially, they their occupation and they in past days, of course, now they are also civilized. The Thotis are their main occupation is scavenging. They are worked as scavengers. Most of the scavengers are from Thoti tribe. Thotis. They are very primitive. They are very primitive. So if you see in minor groups, in some minor groups, we can say if you are asked for only lifestyles and ethnology of minor groups, or you may be asked for ethnology of major groups, or both, and or generally the question may becomes like this: right about the lifestyles and ethnology of tribal groups you have studied, or the tribal groups that are inhabited in India or in Andhra Pradesh, so on. So you have to write the first one is minor groups. You can put an heading as minor groups. In minor groups, I would like to write, teach first Savara. So these Savaras are very primitive tribal groups. So this word Savara is derived from the Sanskrit word that is Sabara. Sabara, Sabara, means a mountaineer. A mountaineer. Mountaineer means గిరిపుత్రుడు అనమాట. గిరిజ పర్వతాల్లో ఎప్పుడు జీవించే ఉండేవాడు అని అర్థం. సో దిస్ వర్డ్ వాజ్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్టెడ్ అండ్ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్డ్ బై థామ్సన్, Thurston 1909. According to Thurston, he is an anthropologist. According to Thurston, the word Savara is taken from Sanskrit origin that is Sabara, which means mountaineer. The origin can be traced from, mm, you can see from their origin, you can see the Brahmanas of Rigveda. In Veda period also, in Rigveda, during the period of Rigveda, they might have originated. They have originated. This is their origin concept. Concept. Savara are mostly people. If you see the Savara people, mostly they appear externally short, below the medium of height, not more than 5 feet. So, basing on that, we can easily identify the Savaras. Savaras are very short people. Generally, their facial profile is also broad. Their face is also broad faces. You can see broad faces. So, due to this short and broad faces, you can easily identify the Savara tribal people. So, then according to Thurston classification only, this Jatapu people are somewhat advanced tribe than Savaras. This is also given by the Thurston contributions. The- So these Jatapus live or Jatapus lives as symbiosis with Savaras. Means they live togetherly with Savaras. You can say at one place you can see both Savaras and Jatapus. Jatapus. So or in some cases in adjacent villages. But their dwellings, that is crop rails, that dwellings are common for Savaras and Jatapus because they are inhabited at adjacent neighboring villages or in the same village. So their mother tongue is Kuvi. What you know, this Kuvi is the Jatapus mother tongue and language, whereas Savara language is the Savara also. So this dialect is different from one tribe to another tribe. Different dialects and scripts were postulated by a pioneer linguistics. If you take in our Srikakulam district, Gidugu Ramurti Pantulu has prepared the script and dialect for Savaras. For Savaras, they in their civilization, especially they don't have any language or script to write or to read. They don't have any type of language, but they can able to speak. They can able to speak in their own dialect and language, but it cannot be written or it cannot be read. For this instance, this gentleman, that Gidugu Ramurthy Pantulu, has invented so as to write and so as to read one kind of script for Savaras, especially in Srikakulam district. Of course, these scripts and dialects has very popularized, and these were distributed to all tribal people, those follows the Savara script. So Gadaba, another minor tribe of ethnic people is Gadabas. Gadaba is derived from their community name. Most of the scientists are thought that this Gadaba is nothing but are derived from Godavari, Godavari river, from Dara and Variya word meaning. So here you can see Gadabas. Some Gadabas are treated as Dwaras in East Godavari district and also part of Visakhapatnam district. And in Variya, and in Variya means in Orissa, they are also called as Godas. So this Godas and Goda, these both terms are applied to this Gadavas, those who believed that have originated from this word originated from Godavari because of, you can see this area from Mahanadi. Mahanadi, where you can see this Mahanadi at Varisa and Godavari at East Godavari. Of course, Godavari is originated at Maharashtra, but some part of the Godavari is flowing from our Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and so on. From you can see these Gadaba tribal people are inhabiting between this Godavari river and Mahanadi river. Mahanadi is at Orissa, Godavari is it in our Andhra Pradesh. Between this geographical area, you can see this Gadavas. So that They called as Dodas in Varia. In Varia, Dodas, Dodas, Dodas in Orissa state. In Orissa state. So part of the Orissa and part of the Andhra Pradesh, you can see these Gadavas. So they mainly may have originated from this civilization, Dravidian civilization, though who can speak Gutab belonging to Austro-Asiatic family of language. You see, so this language, those who can speak these Gadabas, the language is known as Gutab, Gutob. But this Gutab language, from where this language is came from? So this language is came from Austro-Asiatic families. Hence, it is believed that these Gadabas may have originated from this southern side. From this southern side. That means from this Dravidian culture, from Dravidian people, they may have originated because their language is seems to be a Austro-Asiatic language. So the Austro-Asiatic languages have came from southern side of the globe, southern side of the globe. So that it is believed that these people may have originated from Dravidian civilization. So this is about Gadabas. These are minor ethnic group which are inhabited in Andhra Pradesh. Then the language among the tribals is traditionally passed and without, as you know, and without a written documents, only by means of oral or only oral means by the specific or so many linguistic people are working on this to invent a specific language and a dialect for each group of tribal people or each group of ethnic people. These are the very minor groups of tribal people. But in total, there are so many groups of tribals. If you say these Lambadas, Yorukula, Yorukula, Koya, Kondareddy, these are all comes under major groups. In major groups, one of the major groups is Gonds. Gonds. Gond. Gond. So Gonds are one of the numerically predominant tribal groups in India. Numerically predominant means the population is high than other groups of tribal people because in each state of our country, the Gadaba are inhabited. So the Gadabas are originated from Gondwana civilization, that the hilly areas which are extended from Bihar to Madhya Pradesh, Bihar to MP. So thus that place might may be the origin of a place for Gonds. So this is one belief. So they are found in larger areas of central India. So in central India, you can see numerically high. So the central area, the tribal people are uh, high, and they known after them as Gondwanas. Important subdivisions among these Gonds are Muria Gond, found in Madhya Pradesh. found in Madhya Pradesh. Again, some sub tribes are there in Gonds. One is Muria Gonds. Muria, Muria, Muria Gonds. These Muria Gonds are mainly inhabited at Madhya Pradesh. The next one is Rajgons. Rajgons. So these Rajgons are derived from Darve Gond, found in Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, and Orissa. If you see the Gonds are two types. The first one is Maurya Gonds at Madhya Pradesh, Raja Gonds, so called Durve Gonds, Durva, Durve Gonds, which are found in Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, and Orissa. All these subdivisions call themselves as Koitur in their dialect, like Koyas, another larger tribal group. So the Koyas are the second largest group of tribal people, ethnic people. But the Gonds, these two or three types of Gonds are collectively called themselves Koitur, as Koitur in their dialect. Means the people who the people who use the language Koitur is also known as Koitur tribe. So the language of Gonds is Koitur, Koitur. This is the name of the dialect that used by the Gonds. Again, these Gonds are two or three types, but in some uh, cases or in sometimes this Koitur is also spoke by these Koyas. Koitur language or dialect is commonly speak by Koitur, both Gonds and Koyas. Koyas are the second largest largest or major ethnic group. And in Andhra Pradesh, you can see the Naik Pod. There, these Naik Pods, you can see how many new tribes are coming. Naik Pods. These Naik Pods lives as symbiosis along with Rajgons. Where you find these Naik Pods? Naik Pods are inhabited or they live together with Rajgons as symbiosis, like Savara and Jatapu. Savara and Jatapu you can see as symbiosis in the same village or same Guda or in adjacent villages and adjacent Gudas. But their dwellings and agricultural fields are common because they are living at adjacent villages. Like that, here Rajgunds and Naikpods are also living as symbiosis and at adjacent areas, adjacent geographical areas. But in some states, if you take in Telangana, you can see these Naikpods and Rajgunds are separate. Again, in some regions of our country, the Rajgunds and Naikpods are living separately. In some areas, they live together. In Telangana state, you can see that they are living separate, but they don't show their symbiosis. When they live separate dialect and separate languages, separate cultures may have developed. So the particular Gond society, if you asked for the major tribal groups in India, you must write first at Gonds because of the Gonds are the highest numerically highest number or large populated ethnic group in India, which were originated after Gondwana system from Bihar and Madhya Pradesh. That means at central India. So you must write first about Gonds and then you can write any koyas, columns, Naikpods, anything. Then you can see the particular Gond society is divided into the following four exogenous exogenous groups are sagas. Sagas. Saga means SAGA. Saga means one taga, one tribe. So in Gond's tribe, you can see four exogenous exogenous sub-tribes. Each exogenous sub-tribe is called as saga. SAGA saga. If a tribal people in a Gond, you can ask him, you which saga you belongs. He will say, I belongs to a particular so and so saga. Again, in Gonds, there are four sagas. Four sagas. Like you can see in a modern society, like Brahmanas. Again, they possess some శాఖ శాఖలో అని ఉంటాయి. అగైన్ ఇన్ శాఖ సమ్ గోత్రాలు అని ఉంటాయి. ఆ విధంగా ఇన్ ద సేమ్ వే ఇన్ గోండ్స్ యూ కెన్ సీ ఫోర్ ఎక్సోజీనస్ సాగాస్. ది ఫస్ట్ exogenous saga is Nalven saga. You have to note it down. Otherwise, you cannot remember these words. You must write down. Later, I will provide the notes. Later, I will provide the notes. Till then, you have to follow these running notes only so that you have to note it down while explaining. The first saga is Nalven saga. Nalwen. Nalven saga. What is Nalven saga? You can write it within the brackets. Four divide brother group. Four divide brother groups. And the second one is Sivan saga. Sivan, Sivan, not Sivan 7. Sivan, Sivan. Sivan, Sivan saga. Within the brackets, you have to write as five divine brother group. Five divine brother group. The third one is Sarvan, Sarwen. Sarvan saga or saga, SAGA, saga. Six divine brother group within the brackets. Within the brackets, you can write it as six divine brother group. And the fourth one is Yadu Sagwan. YEDU. Yadu Sagavan. SAGAWN. Sagavan means within the brackets seven divine brother group. So the depending on the family can be divided into how many brothers have divided how many ancestral brothers of the same saga has divided. So this is the criterion to classifying their sagas. How many ancient brothers have divided? Four brothers are divided, five brothers divided, or six brothers divided, or even seven brothers divided. Depending on this, the sagas are classified and named as Nalvan saga, Sivan saga, Sarvan saga, Yadhu sagwan. These are the seven sagas, four sagas in Gondus tribe. Each saga is associated with some group of animals, some kind of instruments, instruments that is some agricultural implements or any other instruments. So this is their origin. Each saga has a different type of domestic animals and different type of agricultural implements. So due to this different type of agricultural implements and agricultural farm animals, their agricultural practices are also said to be different. Are also said to be different. Next, columns. Kolams are one of the primitive tribal groups in Andhra Pradesh. Kolam, Kolam. Kolams are also another ethnic groups which are inhabited in Andhra Pradesh, predominantly found uh, in integrated Andhra Pradesh, that is predominantly found in Adilabad district. Adilabad district. So, if you want to write now, they are inhabited in Telangana, or you can write it as integrated Andhra Pradesh. Now, you need not write it in integrated Andhra Pradesh. These columns are belongs to Telangana. That will be better. You have to write it as Telangana. And Lambadas. Lambadas are also present in all over the India. That means in all states of India. Mm, and the Lambadi has also some synonyms. They called as Lambani. Lambadi is also called as Lambani. Banjari. Banjari anna kuda Lambadi se. Banjari. Sugals. Sugals. And Sokali. Sokali. Sukali. So these are the some synonyms to Lambadi tribal group. They are found in interspecified tribal and non-tribal populations, and some non-tribal populations areas also they are inhabited. General, Generally, they live in exclusive settlements of their own called tandas, named after headman of the group Naik. So these Lambadas shows their own distinctive and their own style of their life. Entire that village consists of Lambadas only. No other tribe or no other caste will be entered into that village. So that kind of village, one headman will be there. That headman will called as Nayak. Nayak. So under this Nayak, all the other aspects will be monitored. All the issues will be monitored by only Naik. The linguistic cultural affinities of Lambadas and various historical records establish the fact that they originally hailed from northern parts of the country, especially from Marwar region of Rajasthan. Their origin is their origin is Rajasthan. Lambadas are originated from Rajasthan. Why? It is believed that they have originated from Rajasthan due to their linguistic and cultural affinities. Due to their linguistic భాషాపరమైనటువంటి linguistic and cultural affinities, the Lombards have believed that they may originated from Rajasthan. They are also again classified into five subgroups. Who these Lambadas are also classified into five subgroups, namely Rathod, Rathod, Jadav, Jadav, Chavan, Pomar, Pomar, and Ade. You might heard some names. Rathod Ramesh, who worked as in an integrated Andhra Pradesh as a tribal minister. So, Rathods. So, their name, at the end of their name, as suffix, this Rathod comes. Some Jadavs. Some Chavan. These are in most of the people in Madhya Pradesh, Chavan. And Pomar, Pomar. And also Ade, Ade. These are some major tribal peoples. And the other one is Naikpod. Naikpod. The Naikpods living in tribal areas of some other district, for example, Khammam district, Warangal, Adilabad, East Godavari, West Godavari, means they covering both Andhra and Telangana. The generic word Nayak, Nayak and Nayakas means leader. So they use this Nayak, 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 not Naik, Nayak, Nayak is used as suffix to their name. Some Ranganayak, some Krishna Nayak, or Venkat Nayak, so on. So Nayak will comes as their suffix. But some, which means this Nayak means leader. He is the leader. So they shows their dignity in their name. But some anthropologists believed that as Nayak pods in the past were restoring largely to Podu cultivation, that is shifting cultivation. The Naik pods are the main occupation or the ancestors of Naik pods are doing this Podu cultivation or shifting cultivation. You know what is Podu cultivation and shifting cultivation? They select that slope hilly areas for their temporary cultivation. They cultivate one particular crop at such areas. Immediately after harvesting of that crop, immediately they shift to another place. We have also discussed this. We have also discussed this. When they do this like this, the most environmental impact will be there because some vegetation which is very important, which vegetation will last. So this or some forest areas will be lost or some deforestation will be happen. In this way, this podu cultivation or shifting cultivation is shows its impact on environment. On the other hand, the tribal cultivation as a whole shows the environmental impact. The tribal the tribal culture, because all their culture is associated with plants and their surroundings, so their impact is very high on the environment. So the Naikpods of Maharashtra state, who speak their own dialect, also belong to same stock. In the same way, the Naikpods speak same local language. They don't have their separate dialect. They don't have their separate dialect. They speak their local language. If the Naikpods are inhabited in East Godavari or Guntur district, they speak Telugu only. They follow the regional language or local language. They don't have any special language, special dialect to them. In Maharashtra, if they habited in Maharashtra, they speak Marathi only. So they don't have any special language. They don't have any special language to them. And the other one is Pardhans or Pradhans. Actually, these Pradhans are Pardhans. Pardhans are inhabited at mostly inhabited in Telangana, in some parts of Andhra Pradesh. So these pradhans or pardhans, pradhan anna pardhans anna ఒకటే PRADHAN or PARDHAN అలా అన్న ఒకటే. So the pradhans or pardhans are traditional bards of the Gonds and received mythologists, folk tales and songs of their Gonds and goddesses at various festivals. So these are the supplementary tribal supplementary tribal groups of Gonds. You see, so Gonds are the major tribes, you know. We have learned about that Gonds. They are the major tribe. So at the Gonds, they live, these Pradhans are live along with Gonds as symbiosis, and they will act as some priests మీన్స్ తెలుగులో ఏమంటాం పూజారులు feasts to conduct some festivals, happy occasions, and also some sorrow occasions. During those occasions, they they sing some songs, and also they worship in the form of songs their gods and goddesses during festivals and other happy and sorrow moments. So these pradhans or pardhans are the supplement or sister group of ethnic people which are useful to celebrate their festivals, occasions, and other moments for the Gonds. These Gonds are mainly inhabited at Telangana and some parts of Andhra Pradesh. So these the people are the fellow who sing songs and who worships and who celebrate, who conduct all these festivals occasions, known as, he has some title known as Patadi. Patadi, Patadi. Patadi means the person of Pradhan tribe who celebrate all festivals and other happy moments of Gonds. గోండ్స్ దగ్గర వీళ్ళు పటాడీలుగా ఉంటారు భాయ్. అది ఈ యొక్క ప్రధానుల యొక్క ముఖ్య వృత్తి. గోండ్స్ దగ్గర పటాడీలని పేరుతో ఉండే వాళ్ళని ప్రధాన్స్ అంటారు. సో దిస్ ఇస్ వన్ మేజర్. మేజర్ మీన్స్ హియర్ ఐఎమ్ టోల్డ్ అట్ ది బిగినింగ్, మేజర్ మైనర్ మీన్స్ డిపెండింగ్ ఆన్ ది population and also their distribution in country. Even a specific tribe is very less population in our Srikakulam district. You say the same population is inhabited various more places of the state, then it can be said to be a major. Minor, how can you say the minor group? The total population is numerically may be less, or also their inhabitations may be less. Numerically, their total population may be less. In those circumstances, we will call them as minor tribal groups. So these are all major tribal groups. And the next one is Toti. What is Toti? These Toti are, as I am told you, these Totis are also, most of the Totis are also inhabited in Telangana and some part of Andhra Pradesh, just at Krishna district and Gunturu. Totis and they might have been calling themselves as Kolavar. Kolavar. They called themselves as Kolavar. 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 So the name of the Thotis, war will comes as suffix as war, so on. So they, what is their main occupation is to prepare traditional medicines, and the medicine man is called as Dalak, Delak. Dalak. Dalak means the person who belongs to Toti and prepare herbal medicine. So their main occupation is preparation of herbal medicines. So that fellow who prepare herbal medicine, the fellow from Toti tribe is known as Dalak or Dalak, Delak. This Dalak will gives medicine to all local people, to local people. So the Kolavar or columns identified some diseases and they will give medicine, and also they predict the forecasts. They predict the forecast. Forecast means when will the atmosphere is, when will the rains comes, when will the wind comes, when will the cold and hot condition will comes. All these they will say. So this is the main uh, occupations of these columns or thoti or kolavar. Thotis has two more synonyms: kolavar, kolavar or kolam. Var, W-A-R, var will comes as suffix at their name, in their name. So columns and Rajagons enjoy equal social status. You can see. So columns are the also these columns or thotis are also major, and they enjoy the equal social and economic status on par with Rajgons. Rajgons. So this is about the columns or thotis. Thotis. One more is there. Koyas and other origin and definitives will be uh, completed their lifestyles and complete one more class. It will takes one more class. We will complete it tomorrow. Thank you. I have to go to class now. So this is for today's class.